From a news conference in Midtown Atlanta, where a woman who captured her own sexual assault on Facebook Live at a club is set to announce with her attorney that they have filed a lawsuit against Opera Atlanta. Now, she has filed this lawsuit against Opera Atlanta and other parties alleging negligence, failing to have the appropriate amount of security working that particular night, and also failing to monitor certain areas of the club. That is just among other claims involved in this. As you can see, we have a double box up here, and this has already started, so let's listen in right now.
Well, we tried to reach out to Opera Nightclub without a lawsuit. We wanted to handle this civilly, peacefully, see if there was any way we could just talk. An idea I had was doing a Me Too event at Opera Nightclub and avoiding a lawsuit, seeing how this can get resolved. But what we were met with is silence. We were ignored. None of my phone calls were returned. None of my emails were returned. None of our letters were even returned. They did not have the decency to even apologize or reach out to Miss Eiland. So if that's the case, then we're going to file a lawsuit, especially when we had so many people that worked at Opera or were there that night reaching out to us, telling us what really happened that night. And what happened is shocking. A very experienced ownership group based out of Vegas has taken over Opera. And from what we hear and what we have reason to believe from our investigation, they had 1/4 the amount of security personnel working on the night of this incident. And this just wasn't just a club night. This was a large concert by an international megastar. And they only had 1/4 of the security guards working. Now, is there a problem with it being a hip-hop event? Did they not care? We'll find that out. But we know for a fact all of the security guards were not working, were not paid to work, and they knew this ahead of time because the tickets were pre-sold. Which is why they didn't have the security guards who monitored the crowds to see who's intoxicated or who's out of control and remove you. Which is why they didn't have these security guards to stop this assailant from taking Miss Eiland to an area that was closed and assaulting her again. People are only looking at the first part of the videotape. Miss Eiland was attacked twice. We have video proving that. So it wasn't just negligence, which is the basis of most lawsuits. This was reckless indifference. This was callousness. This was pure carelessness for patrons in the city of Atlanta on Hip Hop Night. How would you keep your club open or decide to go ahead with a concert knowing you're understaffed? Knowing the dangers that it could put the patrons in. But Opera did it anyway, and then didn't even want to talk afterwards. Updates on the case so far. Mr. Williams was arrested. He is currently in jail. He was arrested for aggravated sodomy. As many of you have seen, because of the bravery of Miss Eiland coming forward, another alleged victim has come forward and said that she was assaulted in the past by this same individual, has text messages to prove it, where she's arguing about being raped and being drugged. It's the bravery of Miss Eiland that is allowing other people to come forward. What really has hurt and has been an uphill battle in this case, but we've bravely taken it on, Miss Eiland has bravely taken it on, is what internet trolling and what victim shaming can do to somebody. It drove Miss Eiland almost to the point of taking her life. When you look online and all you see is people shaming you and blaming you and saying you wanted it and things like that. But we didn't allow that to happen. And Miss Eiland said she was going to come forward and stand up and thank the women that have stood up for her and the men that have stood up for her and the celebrities that are now coming out and standing up for her. Because this has to stop. Believing a woman, waiting for the evidence, that's fine. But trying to attack someone and shut them up, that's not going to happen. Miss Eiland does have a few words before we continue.
Before I start, I do want to say that I don't want to address any of the details of the night in question. I do want to thank all of my supporters and all the other women that has come forward that alleges any sexual assault involving this same gentleman. And as far as the victim shaming and the bullying, I just want to let you guys know that I won't tolerate it. I'm not going to put up with it. And that I'm going to continue to fight. I'm a victim, but I'm a survivor as well. So, and just want to thank everybody, and that's it.
To clear up a few facts in the situation, because that is what the typical basis is, where people run off with things that they have no idea what's going on. They're totally wrong in their assessment of the facts. Let me show you actually a few things. Everyone has questioned how was it that Miss Eiland was able to hold on to her phone while this is going on. It must have been made up. Who would hold on to their phone? As you'll see, her phone has a lock on it. It has a grip around her finger. So while she was filming the incident, she couldn't drop her phone. She wasn't holding on to it for the fun of it. It was hooked to her hand, which is why it's everywhere filming and the video moves around. It's looped to her hand. The police also have possession of this. People have looked at the video of her dancing and screaming and things of that nature. What they didn't realize, if you slow it down, there are definite times where Miss Eiland is fully incoherent. Eyes rolled to the back of her head, and then she's assaulted. This wasn't some willing participant agreeing with what was going on. If you watch the video and you slow it down, you can see she has totally lost consciousness at large parts of this incident, which allowed this to happen. As you'll see here, which was a major violation by the club, the assailant was allowed to carry her away to a back room. You'll see this is him carrying her through the crowd, fully tucked as she's passed out, carrying her away. Now, per club policy and per every standard in the industry, security intervenes if a person is too intoxicated or drugged or inebriated. They take possession of the person. You don't carry someone out of a club. But yet, this was allowed to happen because they did not have security there. That's the failures of this club. That's the failures of this club. And lastly, once again, to get this situation off of everyone focusing just on the dance floor scene, this, ladies and gentlemen, we've had it professionally subtitled, is the back room in opera on their patio, which you are not supposed to be in. This is not on the dance floor. This is in a dark room in the patio area, which we've already talked to former employees that you're not supposed to be out there. At the end, you'll hear someone come running out there saying, "Hey, stop." Unknown man finally comes and says, "Stop." This is not on the dance floor. This is where he carried her to afterwards. I saw his statement saying he carried her to her seat. That's a lie. He carried her to this darkened area where we also have reason to believe the security cameras weren't working. So thank God she was on Facebook Live. So it was 2 incidents, not just the dance floor situation. So that's the danger of the club. Everyone wants to say, oh, you're just looking to sue somebody. That is not accurate. I'm looking to prevent this from happening to another young lady or young man in this city again. Because if you don't have security at the club watching where people are drinking, where people are having fun, when does the next guy just pick up some young lady, carry her into a room, and sexually assault her? If security's not there doing their job. But I guarantee you after this lawsuit, security will be picked up, not only at Opera, but at all of these clubs. There's absolutely no way this should have happened. I have had employees call me bursting in tears, screaming that this should not have happened. But they knew security was inadequate. But yet, hey, it's hip hop night. Oh, it's R&B night. It doesn't matter. What matters in the city of Atlanta? And I understand it's a new group that just bought Opera, based out of Vegas. Doesn't matter. That's not how we operate in this city. You will have the same type of security you have at the other types of events. Or don't have the concert. Other than that, any general questions?
When did the new company take over?
3 months ago.
Oh, wow.
When you said 1/4 of the security was working, is that 1/4 that was required or 1/4 that normally works?
Both. We've talked to people in the industry that know exactly how many security guards should be working, especially for a concert where you should have increased security. August Alsina is a huge draw. Pre-sold tickets. And for you to have a handful of security guards when it takes at least 4 to work one door is pure insanity.
Who determines that, the number needed?
The amount of the crowd, the size of the club.
All right, right now you are
exits,
listening to
entrances,
attorney Chris
pat-downs,
Stewart of the Stewart Trial Attorneys
on an
firm
average
in
night,
Midtown Atlanta, speaking about the alleged sexual assault that occurred at Opera Atlanta in Midtown Atlanta. We also heard from the victim who said she wasn't going to address the details of this assault, but wanted to say that she is a fighter. She remains strong. She has been trolled on the internet. Her attorney also spoke about what that has done to her personally, but she said it's not going to affect her. The attorney also said how he had reached out to Opera Atlanta about this alleged sexual assault and said that they've been met with silence. No phone calls, not an apology. He said that they were working with 1/4 of the amount of security that they normally would work with. And he said this was not a normal club night, that this was a large concert. Also explained how the victim was able to Facebook Live the alleged sexual assault by showing the back of her iPhone, which had one of those finger hooks. So it was looped in through her finger, and that is how she was able to record exactly what was going on. And if you were just joining us and didn't see it, I can tell you what we witnessed was extremely disturbing. You could hear her saying, "Help, help, no, don't do that." They actually put subtitles on the video here at this law firm to show you exactly what was unfolding. So again, they are suing Opera Atlanta over this alleged sexual assault. The suspect is now in jail, and after she came forward with these allegations, the attorney who you're just listening to wanted to credit her for that bravery because now other victims apparently are coming forward. We do have Channel 2's Taish Fernandez. You heard her there. She asked the first question. She's at this news conference. She is going to be live ahead for Channel 2 Action News at noon. And then also we're going to have much more reaction for you coming up on Channel 2 Action News at 4 from the club. Get their answer to all of these charges, which you just heard from those attorneys. And much more information that Taisha and her photographer will be gathering. As you saw, we still have that news conference going on, but right now we need to leave so we can get prepared for Channel 2 Action News at noon. So keep it right here. And also we, later on this afternoon, will be live streaming for you an event, a protest event for the rapper 21 Savage. That will begin at 1 o'clock and last until 3 o'clock. So again, thanks for joining us as we live stream these events for you on our WSB TV app, and we will see you for Channel 2 Action News at noon.
So she went to the hospital in Atlanta or St. Louis?
St. Louis.
The next day?
The next day.
know the other victim that stepped forward?
No, victims have been reaching out to both her and I. No, I won't be representing any of them. But they've been reaching out, and we've just been forwarding that information to the proper authorities. One of the individuals that did reach out actually has gone and filed an official police report, and a full investigation is taking place in that incident where she alleged she went out, had just 2 drinks with them, and woke up and had been assaulted.
Ms. Eiland, can you talk about coming forward and how you came to that decision to come forward? I mean, typically news organizations don't name or show the face of alleged sex crime victims. This is a pretty bold step you're taking. Can you explain your train of thought as to coming forward?
You mean now or?
Yeah.
Well, it did take a while, and I figured that had I not come forward and put my face forward, what would the next woman do? I can't say that this won't happen again, and I can't say that it will, but I know that I don't want to be the face of sexual assault. Let me clear that. But I would like to be the face for the next woman that gets assaulted. She needs to know that it's okay to stand up against cyberbullying. It's okay to stand up against victim shaming. And so that's what ultimately gave me the courage to stand up and go publicly.
Can you tell us what, we saw that you just got upset and walked out, and trust me, we're not here to, we don't want that to happen, but can you just explain why?
I've been kind of living under a shell. I'm not gonna lie, I've been under a rock. My Chris and Josh have been so good with making sure that I'm staying off the media, that I'm not in comments, and I've been following that. So, hearing the details just kind of made me relive everything. So,
what do you want to see happen after you made this courageous step to come forward? What's your ideal situation?
I'm sure there's other victims out there, not even related to this case, but just period, who doesn't have the courage or hasn't had the courage to stand up and say, hey, me too. And so ultimately that's the goal. It's okay to come out and say, you're a victim of this as well, and maybe we can be survivors together.
Would you have filed a civil suit if the club would have done a YouTube event with you? Would you file a civil suit after that?
Well, that's would have been our decision on that. I said that lawsuit, all the legal questions would have been our alley.
So, Chris, what are you asking for in the suit exactly? What are you hoping to reach with them?
Number one, we want to find out why this happened. I just can't fathom why you would have a huge, massive concert with a handful of guards when you normally have quadruple that amount. What if there had been a shooting or a fight inside or a fire or anything? How many people would have died? And then what? Just, okay, well, guess we didn't have enough guards. But you knew ahead of time how many guards were coming. You knew ahead of time this was a big planned, massive concert. And we've heard this is not the first time that they started having staffing issues or security issues. I want to know why they don't care and what will be the remedy for that. Hip-hop events or R&B nights at clubs will not be treated any differently than the big mega EDM or alternative nights. It's just not going to happen. Not in this city.
Was the plan to fly out to St. Louis the very next day was already planned? The next day you flew to St. Louis?
I drove.
Was that planned?
Not immediately, no. I sat for a while. And then I decided to get on the road after. I wanted to go. I wanted to go.
All right.
Does she
Thank
live in
you.
Atlanta or St. Louis?
St. Louis.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Chris, one more question. You said something very striking earlier about that employees have come crying
basically to you guys and said, this never should have happened. Can you just go elucidate that a little bit for us?
Yes, there have been big staffing problems since, I guess, new management or new ownership has taken over. And there's been major issues with how many security guards or how many staff are working. You know, it's not just an issue with security. Even if you are having people work in the VIP area, which is where they were dancing near, there would have been, if the club was fully staffed, VIP hosts or VIP employees near the area that would have seen that girl looks like she's half unconscious. I hear someone next to me say he effed her to sleep or did X, Y, and Z. Let me get security. A coat check person would have seen a man carrying a little girl out into the patio and would have said, hey, security, you need to go here. Kind of hard to do that when you don't staff it. But, you know, like I said in the beginning, they chose profits over protecting, you know, the people of Atlanta. And that's fine, but this is the last time that'll happen.
Okay, hi guys. So this is a news conference and I wanted to bring it to you. And this is the man Dominique that did it. He's now in police net and hopefully justice will be served for this lady. All right, so I just wanted to give you an update and for me to give you the clip. Please help me subscribe, help me like so that whenever I get a video, I can update. Remember, I'm a new YouTuber. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.